Welcome back, listeners, viewers, to another episode of Come On Now. I am your moderator, host, Don, not to be confused with Don King. My hair is a lot more lavish. I'm here with my counterparts that you guys get super excited about. That's Rudy and Nick, and I'm going to give them the floor to introduce themselves. Take it away, guys.
Y'all
My
know
name is
me.
no. You go
If
ahead,
you
Nick. You're more
y'all know
important.
They're
y'all,
already fighting. They're already
y'all,
fighting.
y'all know me. If you down with OPP, yeah, you know. I mean, it's Nick Taylor, man. I'm back here, man, with the game, baby. Gonna be another week of an exciting show. We gonna kick you the facts. I'm gonna hate Rudy. Rudy gonna hate me in a loving way, and we're gonna keep it going, man. Y'all know I'm straight out of FIU, Miami Gardens. You feel me? It's just living life,
What?
I got it. That's all I'm gonna give them this week. They told me don't give them no more.
How's everyone doing? This is Rudy Rodriguez Showmont, longtime journalist covering the University of Miami for upwards of 10 years in football. So for all you idiots who said I don't know football, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Oh,
Covered
he's
it for
ready.
over a decade.
He's ready.
Covered high school football for upwards of 17 years. Yeah, when you say I don't know football, yeah, I have my opinions, and yes, they are my opinions. You don't have to agree, and I love the response. I love the feedback. So for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans who are sitting your happy asses on the couch right now because your team just got beat, even though I was actually cheering for y'all, to be honest, I got some response for y'all commentary on Big Ben later on today. Let's go.
Oh,
All right, guys, we're going to just dive right in. Tua, all things Tua. Take it away.
I'll go first, man. Um, I think the Dolphin fans. I'm gonna come out from the get go and say they are they are lunatics, man. The team has went 11-6 the past 2 years. They made the playoffs. They were in purgatory for the past 20 years. I think they made the playoffs maybe once out of that time. And the fan bases, from what I'm reading, they want Tua gone. They want Mike McDaniels gone. These people are crazy. Do they know where they came from? They came from the bottom. They didn't reach the top, but they're not there. They're a little bit here. And these people are still mad every week about this team, man. They went out there, they laid an egg. Don't get me wrong, that was bad. But to start over from zero, that is ludicrous, it's ridiculous, it's outrageous, it's outstanding. Um, it's just everything that shouldn't happen right now. And I think the fans, after they get off their little high and of feeling depressed and emotional, that they will come back to reality and realize that this team has done better than than a lot of other teams. If they want to go back to the fucking basement, they can go back to the basement. Go ahead and let go McDaniels. Go ahead and let go Tua and see what happens. Give Tua his 40 million. I don't think he should get more than that, but give him his 40 million. I mean, new age quarterback nowadays, you're gonna get 45. Give him his 45 million and be happy that you're at least a team that's a contender now. You get your defense back next year, hopefully. You get another freaking player to help Tua. He has no safety net at all. Every other quarterback in the league has a safety net. You have Purdy, who has George Kittle. He has McCaffrey. He has a big man to throw across the middle of the field. Most quarterbacks who have success in this league has a big man to throw it across the middle of the field. You have Mark Andrews in Baltimore. You had Tom Brady, had Gronk. Every quarterback that wins in this league has a quarterback who has a player who's a safety net. He had Edelman, a slot receiver who could do more than one thing and get them open, and you had to pay attention who could keep the drive going. First downs. That's what you need in this league. First downs. You don't have first downs, you're not going to win. You need to keep the drive going. They have nobody like that. All they have is Tyreek Hill, who they have to throw him everything. They have to throw everything for him. They have to throw every route for him, which he shouldn't be getting as a 5'9" receiver. You have him on the outside. You could barely use him on the inside. There's no easy routes for him unless you're throwing him a screen. You have Waddle who do deep routes. Where's your safety net for Tua? You don't run the ball. You come out there in a game with negative fuck you weather, and they decide to freaking throw the ball every down. Run the ball. Give A-Chan the ball. Give Mozart the ball. Give these guys the ball. I know when I play football, I don't want to tackle in cold weather, let alone -0 weather. But you know what the Dolphins decided to do in the second half? They decided to throw the ball all over the field, which was the worst mistake ever. Run the ball, get some first downs, move the chains. Um, how I could break it down, the best way I could break it down in that game was the Kansas City Chiefs came out with black Air Forces, and the Dolphins came out with white Air Forces. KC was ready to fight from the opening coin toss. They were ready to fight. They were ready to knuck if you buck, if I may say it. They were ready to knuck if you buck. Crime mob. They was in the club. The first person they seen, they was knocking out. They wasn't there to dance. They wasn't there to party. They were there to fight. The Dolphins, they came in. They wanted to dance, man. They wanted to do their 1-2 step. They was there with Sierra. Let me see you 1-2 step. And KC was not about that life. They were there to fight. And that's what happened that game. And the Dolphins need to change their whole mindset as a team, as a coaching staff. I'm not saying you change the whole thing. I say you tweak things. You run the ball more and you get to a safety net. You find you a tight end or a big receiver who will go across the middle and get you first down. And that's what you do over there with the Dolphins. You don't scrap Tua. Now we can go to Rudy. I'm sorry. I think I went on enough.
Sorry about that. I'm on mute because I don't want to make too much noise in the background while Nick is bloviating about bullshit. The fact of the matter is they had a safety net. They had someone named Mike Gesicki and they let him go.
Okay, he's not there now.
Well, guess what? They won more games without his ass. They were 9-8 with him. They were 9-8 the year before with him. He was a safety net. And you know what Tua didn't do last year? He didn't throw the fucking ball to Mike Gesicki. He didn't. No, that's why Mike Gesicki left. Because he didn't get the damn ball.
That's Matt Daniels' fault.
All right. Mike McDaniel's fault that Tua chose to throw the ball to Tyreek Hill damn near every flip and play? I'm going to tell you right now.
One second, Rudy. 1 second. I'm going to let you go. I'm pretty sure if Tua had a big guy who was closest to him, because your tight end is always going to be closer to you. If you have the closest guy who's big, 6'5", and he could jump and catch the ball well, he will throw him the ball instead of trying to throw it to the outside all the time. You know what the Dolphins do? They condense the formations all the freaking time, and then they want to run routes instead of having your X and Y receiver on the outside. You know they have them tightened to the formation. And you know what that do? That just has to make it so much easier for the defense to know that all you're doing is condensing because you want to spread the field. That's what's wrong with the Dolphins. Spread the field, and then you have your big guy work the middle of the field. And now when they want to close on him, you throw it out there to Tyreek because you know you can't go one-on-one with him. If you go one-on-one with him, if you have help over there with him, then your safety can't help on the tight end, and he's killing the linebacker. And that's their fucking problem.
I despise the Dolphins' offense. I despise it. Tua is a one-read quarterback. He's everything timing. The entire offense is a timing offense. They ran one timing play the entire game against Kansas City, and it was in the fourth quarter, to River Craycraft. They start the game off throwing swing passes to Tyreek 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They didn't run the ball. I agree with you. They have to run the ball. We said that versus Buffalo as well. They were not going to go to Kansas City and win throwing the ball all over the field. But Tua is responsible for some of these things. He makes bad throws. He's a one-read guy. He has no mobility whatsoever. He gets panicked once the first read is gone. And it happened against Buffalo. It happened against Baltimore. It happened against Buffalo beginning of the year. It happened in every game the Dolphins lost. He is a panicky quarterback. I will say this. When he has no pressure, a.k.a. Alabama his entire career, where people fell in love with him, he's fabulous. When he has a little bit of pressure, he shits on himself. The beginning of the year, there was a statistic I heard that he basically was clean for like the first 8 games, 10 games, where Miami was going up and down the field like nobody's business. And then when he started feeling some pressure, he can't do anything. He falls apart. Tua sucked on Saturday. Mike McDaniel sucked on Saturday. But to say that it was just Mike McDaniel, I didn't like the game plan at all. I thought they should have run the ball the whole damn game. They throw the ball down the field once or twice, I think it was. But they abandoned what they do, and I don't even know what they were doing because I saw how many swing passes were there. The basic little out route of the basic swing, and he couldn't even hit a 5-yard swing. I mean, how many times did he make a bad throw on a swing pass? He played like shit. He played like shit. Now, the Dolphins' defense, my opinion, you don't give Tua a lengthy contract. You franchise tag his ass. You make him prove it.
I'm not mad at that.
You franchise tag him. Because to give him $45 million for the next 4 years is going to kill your franchise if you see the same shit next year where he can't make a play, where he can't play well against anyone good. And we found out that Dallas sucks also, by the way. So let's be real. They were fake. Dallas and the Dolphins are like this. They're like twins. Front running ass teams who, when they fall behind, eat shit and die. And that's what they did. That's what Dallas did. That's what the Dolphins did. Tua, I did not like him coming out of college. You drafted a guy with a broken fucking hip. And the guy is, I don't know what I run in the 40. I probably pull both hamstrings. But I can't be much slower than Tua if I don't pull him. Nah, I can run a 6. He runs about a 6.
No
6
way.
I can run a 6.5. He runs about a 6. He runs about a 6. He's slow as shit. He has no pocket presence. He never has. You know why? Because he never felt pressure at Alabama. When he gets to the Dolphins, you know what? Brian Flores, end of the day, was right. I never wanted Brian Flores fired to begin with, but I didn't like Tua 2 years ago. And I kind of fell in love with, tried to open my mind and be open-minded. And he starts playing well. We know why he's playing well. Who was the reason he's playing? Why is the reason that Tua looked good?
Tyreek Hill.
Thank you.
Hill.
Because everybody else is virtually this. Yeah, we have some running backs that are good.
Tyreek Hill was the MVP the first 15 weeks of the season.
He changed the Dolphins last year. He changed the Dolphins.
But they still need a safety net.
Look, you need a tight end. Great.
Yes,
whatever. Man. Great.
Or a big receiver. You have little receivers running around everywhere.
I don't
know y'all got Chase Claypool.
Yeah, and he came in week like 10, man. Like, you're not going to incorporate him into the offense like that.
Chase Claypool could have came in week 0 minus 15, and he still would have been terrible.
What? That doesn't. So he was going to be terrible regardless. So why put him in there if he's going to be terrible?
No, I don't know. That's your team. You tell me.
I didn't ask to go get Chase Claypool. He dropped a damn touchdown pass in one of those games that he had the ball thrown to him. Like it's
a reason. It's a reason why he's been traded the 2 times.
Exactly.
You don't trade a good player that many times. So far.
I agree with you. I don't
like to get on players so much, but when it's due for, it's due for. I mean,
I think Tua. I'm sorry. I think Tua should be franchise tag. You franchise tag his ass. You give him one last year to prove it. At the same time, you draft a quarterback. You draft a quarterback. Cut the bullshit. Draft a quarterback. I'm not saying first round pick, but you got to draft a quarterback. Who is the Dolphins' backup? Mike White.
Exactly. The problem with a lot of teams and a lot of fan base is that they want everything microwavable. They want everybody to be hot right now. And sometimes, as a quarterback, it takes a little time. Tua's in year 4.
Year 4, yeah.
He
5.
made progression. He has made progression every year. And most quarterbacks, except for C.J. Stroud and quarterbacks like that, they don't come in and just rip up the league. Maybe that's why I don't mind what you said with franchise tag. You give him another year on a prove it scale.
I franchise him.
You still get to decide because he has shown improvement every year.
No, look, you're not going to find a new quarterback. We know this. You franchise tag his ass. Mike McDaniel gives up the play calling duties to somebody else because his play calling is so fucking predictable. By the end of the year, you know exactly what they're doing.
They ran
They ran the same shit for 17 weeks, and then round one of the playoffs, they didn't run any of it.
Tyreek came in motion off the fast motion, and they got 1 touchdown off it, but they run out a lot, and I just don't like that their offense is so congested. I hate it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
I went to the Jets game once. I went to the Jets game 3 weeks ago, and they actually won that game. And I'm up there watching. I got great seats that I could just see the whole field. And I'm like, why are y'all offense so congested? And like the defense is just everything. They're looking right at it, like they could see everything that's going on. You need to spread them out sometimes and give them some space to work with. You have the fastest receivers. Why are they all working in a condensed space? That makes absolutely zero sense to me. I don't like it, and I don't like that you don't give the ball to the guy who should be getting the ball at least 20 times a game, and that's A-Chain.
And by the way, the franchise tag this year was $32.4 million. It's a franchise to me. It's a done deal. Take away McDaniel's play calling duties. I'm not saying fire anybody, but give him 1 more year. But after that, it's do or die because I can't watch the same offense and watch this offense get embarrassed by good teams all year.
Hey, you know what I could
Beat
tell
bad
you?
ones and the Tennessee game cost them the 2 seed.
You know what I could tell you? I know what I could tell you didn't happen. Those guys did not take 2 shots of Hennessy.
Oh, they definitely didn't take 2 shots of Tennessee.
I
They
can tell
definitely
you.
didn't.
I
They
can
definitely
tell
did
you
not.
that
Listen,
right
listen,
now.
listen, listen. On that colorful note, we're just gonna go right in. When they bottle up this passion, go right into the next section. Bill Belichick. Do you guys feel like he's overrated? And if you feel like he's overrated, what's your opinion? And if you were him, where would you go? There's 7 open head coaching jobs. Where would you guys go?
Bill Belichick is overrated.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Rudy. You just want everybody to hate you.
Listen here. One of my
You
closest
said that
friends
out
is a
loud.
Boston native. He
You said
is
that out
a
loud.
diehard Patriot. I damn sure did. He
Oh,
is
my
overrated.
gosh.
And
Oh,
even
Lord.
I got friends who are from Boston who are Patriots fans. He's overrated. And they believe he's overrated. They won't say it. I don't care. I'm going to say it. He's overrated.
Wow.
He was a loser in Cleveland.
Wow.
He made the playoffs once, I think. He then came to the Jets, but he was a coach there for a day. He went to the Patriots. He had Tom Brady. God bless him. God bless him. He got Tom Brady. I will tell you the first 3 years, Bill Belichick could take credit.
Okay.
After that, it's a Tom Brady show.
Fuck you, Rudy. So
I didn't even finish my statement.
when they beat the Rams, what was the score?
20-17.
No. When they beat the Rams the second time, what was the score?
What do you mean the second time? A few years ago when they won with Brady's last year? I don't remember the score. What was it, 24-21?
No, it was like 9.
14-3. 14-3.
Okay.
14-3. All right, 14-3.
Tom Brady lit it up.
All right. I'm not looking at statistics right now. I guess you're gonna give Bill Belichick the credit for winning that game. Even though Brady probably threw for 4,500 yards that season. Tom Brady, the second he walked off that field, they've been losers 3 of the last 4 seasons. They destroyed Mac Jones, who actually looked pretty good for a year, destroyed him with this freaking carousel of coordinators that this kid has gone through. Bill Belichick's way does not work with today's player. It's clear as day. Today's player is a coddled prima donna athlete, period. It's a coddled athlete. They don't, God forbid you make someone run, they walk off the field. They don't want to run. They don't want to. Teams don't even hit anymore, Nick. You know that. Teams don't practice hard they don't hit each other. Back in the day, you put on pads. There was an interview where Tom Brady said about how the receivers and running over the field. I avoided throwing to Ray Lewis area because I knew I would get my receiver knocked out of the game.
But he still did it.
There's film
of it. There's film of it.
I'm sure there's film of it. And Ray Lewis would have been ejected from every game today because of how he played. Bill Belichick won. I'm not saying he wasn't a good coach. Like, this is the problem that y'all have in the world. Big Ben's not a top 5 motherfucker, goddammit. I didn't say he's a bad quarterback. Bill Belichick is overrated. It doesn't make him a bad coach.
So
it doesn't. But in terms of when we look back at who won, Brady leaves, he wins the Super Bowl year 1, taking over a team that was 7-9 or 8-8, and wins the Super Bowl. I know you're gonna tell me that talent. Yes, that just shows you who Tom Brady is.
No,
because Tom Brady could take over a team with a guy who was there threw for 5,000 yards. He's overrated, and what he should do, he's 72 in April. Retire. Enough. If he comes back, it's for ego of passing Don Shula. That's the only reason he would come back. Because there makes no... I wrote down the oldest coaches in NFL history. You know who the oldest coach was? Romeo Crennel as an interim coach at 73 and 199 days. The second oldest coach at retirement age, George Halas, 72, 318 days. And the third one is Marv Levy at 72 and 139 days. Pete Carroll just got shit canned because that's what happened. He got fired. And he's got nowhere near the personality of Bill Belichick. So he looks like and sounds like he's like 45 years old. And he acts it. And he's a player coach. And Bill Belichick, he's old. He's dated. Don Shula, when he retired, he looked like he was 100. He was 66. It's over. It's over. And today the Dallas Cowboys announced that Mike McCarthy's being retained, or it's been sources out there that he's being retained. You're going to go coach in San Diego in LA with the Chargers?
Why not?
Really?
Why not?
Atlanta? Retire, dude. It's time to hang it up, sit on your couch, go on TV, be boring as fuck on one of these networks because you're boring as shit. Maybe we'll see your personality. Maybe we'll see it. But the reality was the last 4 years, they've been trash. This year, they were certified garbage. And you know how you do it with other teams? You blame their coach, right? Why does he not get blamed for that?
Because
it's over. He's overrated. He won a lot of games because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. It's literally why I said that I think Mike Tomlin's the best coach of the last 25 years. Because if you have Mike Tomlin and Tom Brady, I think they win also 6 championships.
Hey, you know what they had? Rudy, I think you're really overreacting. What they had was a perfect marriage.
Where the guy who was married wanted to divorce his wife at year 10. In 2013, they wanted to get Tom Brady. What are you talking about?
I mean, people get divorces in 6 months. That was 10 years longer than a lot of people last.
He was there with Tom Brady won 3 more Super Bowls. If Tom Brady wasn't getting Super Bowls and he gets rid of Brady, Bill Belichick is gone in 2017 by that point.
So how I'm going to say it's not all Tom Brady. What was their record with Matt Castle? May I ask you?
I know you want to pull the 11-5. Yes, where they had the entire exact same team. Come on, man. I know, yeah, 1 year. And you know what? The year after they fucking won a Super Bowl, and 2 years later, what were they? 79, 8-8?
Rudy, they were a perfectly built team, a perfectly ran organization. And you know where that started at? At the motherfucking top.
Mm-hmm.
It started from the
Bill Parcells, I know.
No, don't do that. It started with Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick had everything in order over there. And you are right. It was a different time back then where players didn't run the league. It was ran by the coaches and the GMs. But now it's a different time. And it might be time for Bill Belichick to fall back. But is he overrated? Hell no. He did his thing when he did his thing. He ran the team. Like I said, he beat the Rams 14-3. Every year, like you said, the first 3-4 years, they scored low points. The defense was one of the top defenses in the league. Tom Brady, all he did was manage the game the first 7-8 years of the league when he was in the league. He managed
7-8 years. 7 years. 7-8 years. Because in 2007, he threw for 5,000 yards.
Okay, I'm coming back. Okay.
5,000 yards.
Okay.
That was year 4, 5, 6, whatever. It wasn't 7 years. He didn't manage the game. Come on, man.
The first 5 years he managed the game, Rudy.
You bugging.
He managed the game.
The first 3 years. The first 3.
I won't go as far as Trent Dilfer, but he managed the game, and the defense played well.
This man just compared Tom Brady to Trent Dilfer. Are you fucking high?
I am not high. I'm a little inebriated, but I am not high. So what I said he was better than Trent Dilfer. I literally said he's not Trent Dilfer.
I won't go to that level. That level is like trash.
No, I won't go. I didn't go to that level. All I'm saying that Tom Brady was a game manager at first, and Bill Belichick carried that team and Tom Brady the first 5 years. Tom Brady came along because you know what quarterbacks do? If you give them the time, they develop. Tom Brady developed to be the best. But it didn't come without Bill Belichick running the defense in the organization. And you know what? Tom Brady fell in line. He fell in line because Bill Belichick had a strict organization that he ran, and everybody knew what came with it. Everybody knew that you had to come into the building early and you had to walk out that building late. Everybody knew that you had to study film all day because Bill Belichick is going to quiz your ass, and if you don't have it right, you won't play. If you don't do the things that he wants you to do, you won't play. And you know what? He built a whole strategy off of that, and everybody felt in line. They had discipline. And when you have discipline with a team and everybody buys in, and Tom Brady buys in, everybody else buys in. And Bill Belichick was the best at doing that. Now he can't do it because who has that quarterback? Mac and Cheese Jones? That's not going to get it done. Zappy, come on, man. I know.
When Mac Jones,
his defense was still amazing this year. They still held their own this year. What Bill Belichick had in his coat on defense, his offense, maybe he need to find a better offensive coordinator than bringing back Bill O'Brien.
He wants to have his fifth one or sixth one in the last 4 years?
I mean, his problem is that he's loyal and he's want to keep everything with his guys. I do agree with you. He should not coach anymore. He should let it go. There's nothing else for him to do. Only thing he's competing for is to compete with Tom Brady because Tom Brady won that championship. You say it's Don Shula. I don't think it's Don Shula. I think it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady won that championship
I said Don Shula retired at 66. That's all. And the only reason that he would stick around is to break Tom Shula's records.
I'm saying that's not why he will stick around. He's sticking around to say, oh, I could get another championship without Tom Brady. Or I could at least be really, really, really competitive. They did make the playoffs.
Where would and they missed it for 3 of the 4 years. Where would he get that championship at?
His best chance would be San Diego right now. Other places that's open.
The team that just went 5-12.
The team that has a quarterback that has the best quarterback out of the bunch. Anybody else has a quarterback out of the bunch that's fired? You have Atlanta. You have Seattle.
No.
You have exactly the best. No. The best chance would be.
But the best team last year was Seattle.
The best team was Seattle. What Seattle? What quarterback are you going to find? Are you going to bring back?
I'm not. That's why the man should retire because this isn't a 1 year or a 2 year or 3 year fix. This is a gut.
Yeah. Are you going to
go 5-12? You go 5-12. I mean, they weren't doing well when Herbert was playing.
They made the playoffs the year before, so they do have talent. They do have potential.
Yeah, I know. And then they got beat.
They all quit on their coach Staley. Nothing went right for them this year. After last year against the Jaguars, everybody kind of, hey, I don't know about that coach. You got the players online saying, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm not mad at a coach being aggressive. I just think that you have to get your players to buy in. Once you lose your players to buying in, then you might as well be gone. But you have a quarterback who could throw the ball. You could throw the ball down the field. You have weapons. You have a lot of weapons. That's a perfect place to come to. You have Khalil Mack on defense. You have a Bosa on defense. You got Derwin. You have players. You have a Asante Samuel. You have talent in San Diego. With the
LA.
Yeah, in LA. My bad.
They're still San Diego. They're still San Diego.
You have talent there. So if you bring in the right coaches, you get the ball back rolling. They can compete in that division. They can win. They've shown it before. It was just last year. They were in the playoffs, up by 25 points in the playoffs in the first round.
I think it was 27.
It was 27-0.
They were up a lot of points, and they blew it. So they're not a bad team. They have talent. That's a good place to go to. It's sunny. It's warm. And Bill Belichick does have a personality. You heard that joke he came in. I didn't see this much reporters since Tim Tebow was here. So that guy knows how to tell a joke. Because I laughed. I chuckled twice.
You chuckled. And once he coaches the team, that sense of humor is gone. He needs to retire. Call it a day. Enjoy your kids. Enjoy your grandkids. Get a TV job like Jimmy Johnson.
I agree with you. I think he's done everything he needs to. So I'm going to say that he's not overrated. That's all I'm going to say.
Overrated just means you're not the best of all time. Like the best. Like it doesn't mean you're not good. I think that Tomlin's a better coach.
I agree with you.
I do. I think, and if you think Tomlin's a better coach, which you told me, then that makes him overrated because people regard him as the greatest coach of all time.
I told you Tomlin's a better coach. I said Tomlin's a
You
better.
did. You did.
Pull it up on film. Pull it up on film.
On film, it was in private conversation, but okay, I guess.
Wow.
So you think Belichick's a better coach than Tomlin? Yes or no?
On the spot.
I do think Belichick is a better coach than Tomlin.
Okay. All right then.
I think his defense. Because his defensive mind, I think his defensive mind is better than Tomlin. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right.
I think he'll come up with a strategy to take away your best player better than Tomlin will.
Yeah, 4-13 record showed it this year.
Thank you for your thoughts, guys. Thank you for your thoughts. Back to your corners. With that being said, we're going to be introducing a new segment to our show every week. As you guys have come to know, Rudy Rodriguez Showmock is a very colorful character. If you guys could read our group chat, it's not suitable for airwaves. It's not suitable for internet. We would be kicked off every platform. With that being said, I thought it would be cool and entertaining for you guys to, get a glimpse to how maniacal he can be sometimes, how entertaining and a little alarming he can be with some of his thoughts. So we're introducing a new segment called Rudy's Rant, and we're going to give him a couple of minutes just to say whatever he's been thinking. I'm gonna get the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area fans. Just buckle up. It's gonna get a little testy for you guys because I know where he's
He's
going
going
with this.
through his
Rudy,
notes. He is
Rudy, the
ready.
floor is
He has a.
yours. The floor is yours, Rudy.
Oh,
I look like Mad Dog Russo right now, but realistically, look, man. There was my comments last week that Pittsburgh Steelers fans lost their minds about. I honestly thought most of them would agree with me. I'm shocked. I thought it was a rather mundane comment, to be honest. I actually talked to a few Pittsburgh Steelers fans that I'm friends with, and none of them think that Ben Roethlisberger was a top 5 quarterback. None of them. Because they actually have intellect. They have logic. They are not emotional about the comment. They are actually looking at the situation and realize, guess what? It is quite possible that he was just a really good quarterback. And the reality is, I never said he wasn't a good quarterback. I said he's not a top 5 quarterback of his generation. The key word is generation. Nick wants to truncate that into a 5 to 8 year span, for which it's almost impossible to match it up to other quarterbacks outside of about 5. Okay? Matt Ryan is one of those guys. Phillip Rivers is one of those guys. I think both of those guys are better than Ben Roethlisberger, period. Skill-wise, I think they were better. They played on worse teams. You know who Matt Ryan is? Matt Ryan won a league MVP. So I'm not talking about an 8. Oh, okay, well, you can ooh all day. Ben Roethlisberger, for as great as he was, didn't get one singular MVP vote in his career. He didn't threw for 5,000 yards. You can do all that whoa bullshit you want. But the fact of the matter is, Brady, easy. Manning, easy. Rodgers, easy. Breeze, easy. Now the question becomes, is he number 5? I read some of those ridiculous comments saying he's a top 3 of all time. You guys are on crack. All time? You're high. You clearly haven't watched football for more than 18 or 20 years then. Because quarterbacks like Dan Marino, John Elway, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Dan Fouts, Brett Favre. I mean, can we go on and on? I can name 20 who are better than him of all time. Yardage today is juiced. It doesn't mean dick when you use an argument and say, oh, he has the 5th most yards of all time. Great. Big fucking deal. What does that mean? Because then you don't want to use it based on the annual year. Because you know what the real numbers are? When Ben Roethlisberger was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were mid to bottom 3rd in 13 of his 18 seasons in passing. In passing, he's a quarterback. As a team, he has finished in the top 5 in passing twice. His QBR consistently was lower than Matt Ryan's.
consistently?
Consistently. You want to know what it was? I can go year by year.
Yeah, please.
10 of the 14 years that they played together, his QBR was lower than Matt Ryan's. 10 of the 14 years. You don't do stats, I know, Nick. Stats only matter in certain topics that benefit you. But QBR, which is considered the most important stat of all nowadays, not yardage, QBR. Go look it up. 10 of the 14 years, Matt Ryan had a higher QBR than Ben Roethlisberger. You want another one? Since you like stats, because y'all like stats for certain things, but don't like them for others. 13 of 14 seasons, Phillip Rivers threw for 4,000 yards or more. Yeah, I know stats don't matter, but it only matters because he's 5th most of all time. Matt Ryan threw for 10 straight years 4,000 yards. 10 straight years over 4,000 yards. Higher completion percentage. Higher QBR.
You just told me that's inflated.
But then Roethlisberger's are less than that. So pick one. Which one is it? Either he's 5th of all time, or we're going to use the year-by-year stuff. Because Ben Roethlisberger, you know what he did? He played 18 years. He played more and longer than Matt Ryan. So, yeah, he has a few more yards because he played more games. He let's also go back to this one. Does defense play football? You just use that as why Bill Belichick is such a fucking great coach. Yeah. Since the first 9 seasons that Ben Roethlisberger was in the league, he had a top 2 defense. 5 times number 1 in the league in his first 9 seasons. You guys don't like stats. I know defense don't matter. You can shake your fucking head with your little freaking little pussy-ass wine glass there and stick it up your ass. Fact of the matter is, I don't think he's a top 5 QB of all time. That's great. You don't like it? Go fuck yourself. I don't care. You can call me what you say. I don't know shit about football. I guarantee you, I watch more football than all you Pittsburgh morons combined.
Whoa.
You can get mad at me, and you can jump on me and call me all kinds of names. I got mad respect for the Pittsburgh Steelers as a franchise. They're tough as shit. I love how they play. I actually like Big Ben. But y'all taking this shit personal, like, hey, first of all, if you think he's top 3 of all time as a quarterback, you have no idea what you're talking about. And even Nick will agree with that. I don't even think Nick thinks he's the top 10 QB of all time, to be honest.
That wasn't my point. That's not what I argued about.
Okay, but you argued certain amount of years. Yes, I said last week, a couple years, he was a top 5 guy. But over the course of his career, generation, for me, you want my definition of generation? It's about 20 years. And if you played 7, 8, 9 years while he played, you are part of his generation. So therefore, now that you have my definition, I think Donovan McNabb is better than him. I think Brett Favre is better than him. I think Matt Ryan is better than Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. And now you get into the discussion of certain other guys that's an opinion. I don't know. Romo was pretty freaking good. I don't think he was better than him.
The fuck up.
Did I finish? Did I finish?
Yeah.
Did I finish? Romo, I didn't say he was better than him.
I let Matt Ryan slide.
Cam Newton at his peak was better than Ben Roethlisberger.
Lord, give me strength.
And you know what else? Pat Mahomes has 4 seasons that covered Ben Roethlisberger. It's been the greatest season of Ben Roethlisberger's career.
Oh, my Lord.
And he fucking won MVP, and Ben Roethlisberger didn't get one fucking boo. Because you know who doesn't respect him? The media. And you know what? He'll make the Hall of Fame. Because the Hall of Fame, he deserves it.
Oh, my Lord.
You know what else? They're getting QBs. What about that top 5? Let me ask one more thing. The top 5 quarterback thing you just mentioned of all time, by the time Patrick Mahomes retires and Josh Allen retires and all these other guys who are playing, Matt Stafford is better than Ben Roethlisberger. He's had 10 years that covered Ben Roethlisberger's career. 10 years. And in the next few years, he's going to pass Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow.
He is. In yardage, he is. Because they're using that stat. Ben Roethlisberger, when these guys retire, will be in the outside the top 10 in passing yardage. So then what? Is he still top 3? Is he still top 3, top 5? My opinion is my opinion. You don't like it? I don't care.
I get that.
I don't give a shit.
I'm not mad at that.
Who was the best quarterback in the 80s, Nick?
In the 80s? Joe Montana.
You want to know what most people really thought? Dan Marino was. Because he
came later, though. I mean,
he was 3 years late. He was
like 84, 85. Oh, I mean, we're going the whole 80s, and it's going to be Montana.
80s. The generation of Montana and Marino, most people thought Marino was a better player.
I don't think Aikman was that great.
He wasn't. That's why when you value Super Bowls over, that's why the winning stat is great. If you have a fucking great defense, if you have a great defense, you're gonna win. The Dolphins never had a great defense in Marino's entire career. So they had 1 season, I think they were top 10 or 2. He never had a running back.
Nobody told him to be terrible when we got Zach Thomas
no one told him to pop his Achilles. My bad. No one told him to pop his Achilles. My bad. He was still throwing for as many yards as Ben Roethlisberger did 15 years later against freaking podunk defenses that can't touch anybody.
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger wasn't a part of that whole generation of that.
All I'm saying,
he got the grit of the defenses too. And the division that he played in was one of the top divisions of the fucking century. He played in the top division.
Tell me why it's the top division.
It was knock them out, fuck you up football.
Who was in the division?
You had the Ravens, and then you had.
They're still there. Yeah, they're still there.
You know what I'm talking about. Those Ravens.
There were 2 teams. There were the Ravens and the Steelers. The Bengals sucked, and the Browns sucked. What are you talking about? The
Bengals came along around that time. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Around that time?
Yes, with Marvin.
Marvin Lewis. They weren't tough.
They weren't tough. If you played in that division, you played in that division.
And you know what happened every fucking year? They lost to the damn freaking Patriots. People crown the Patriots up. People say the Patriots played in the softest division. You know what? They beat the Steelers 3 times when it mattered. And they beat the Colts. And they beat the Ravens. And they won 6 Super Bowls out of the softest division. I'm not saying that man wasn't good. He was good. He was really good.
Everybody beat up everybody, and then the Patriots just had to come around.
That was easy. Yeah, I know it was easy. It was easy. It was easy.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. Every football game is hard.
Big Ben threw for 123 yards in his first Super Bowl win, but they want to give him credit for being a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Great. 123 yards. He didn't win the MVP in the second one because San Antonio Holmes saved his ass against a 9-7 Arizona Cardinals.
That was an amazing throw.
It was a good throw, but a better catch. It was a better catch. That's why Holmes was the MVP and not Ben Roethlisberger. Fact of the matter is, I said he was a damn good quarterback. But the reality is, if you want to really go dig deep into the numbers, he wasn't a top 5 QB.
Rudy, so
if you like it, all right, whatever. Because Dwyane Wade won 2 Super Bowls, and he was the MVP of both of them, and he did the Patriots were 18-0, and he did the Patriots were 15-3, and he was the MVP of both of them. And no one on their right mind would say that Eli Manning was even a top 10 quarterback of that generation. I'm done.
Are you?
No, I loved it. We're gonna keep it here. It's nice and steaming. We're gonna go into one of my favorite parts of the show. Actually, my favorite part, Don's Dimes. Did you see it?
Thank you. Because I had a rebuttal for Rudy, but I'm gonna let him ride till next week.
Because I convinced you that you were wrong. I know.
No, you did not convince
because
shit.
we're on the court. And
you didn't know that QBR. You didn't know that QBR stat.
Because Ben Roethlisberger's QBR was around 65 to 70 most of those years.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was between 60 and 70 most of those years.
58, 47, 58, 60.5, 52.5, 35.6. He finished in the top 5 in QBR twice in his career.
All right, Rudy. You can let down. Go ahead, Donald.
Ability to mute you guys. Do you understand that? I'm just
not
sure.
Rudy some fucking time because I'm tired of hearing his shit.
I'm not sure if the viewers and the listeners know, but I do have carte blanche to mute you guys. But I'm not going to do that because it's my favorite part of the show. Don's Dimes, no look passes. Don's Dimes are not topics I think about a week ago. They're on the fly. And I'm going to throw you guys a dime. If you can own any sports team in America and make one decision while you're owning the team, what would it be? I'm gonna start. I would own my beloved Minnesota Vikings, and I would trade for Justin Fields because I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. I have been on record saying that Kirk Cousins is probably the biggest thief in American history next to Floyd Mayweather. But he has an amazing agent. Kudos to his agent. But we're not going to get there with him. We're just not going to get there with him. I'll gladly ship him to Miami if you guys want him. I'll take Waddle for him. But if I was the owner of the Minnesota Vikings, I would trade for Justin Fields. I think the young man has a very bright future. We have Justin Jefferson. We have the young kid from USC. We need a running back very, very soon. This may shock some people, as you know, me being a diehard Chicago Bulls fan. But shit is so fucked up in Chicago, I don't want anything to do with it at all. Nothing to do with them. So I'm going to pick the Minnesota Vikings, and I would trade for Justin Fields. You guys, go ahead.
Wow.
You go first, Nick, because I'm sweating my ass off right now.
I mean, that question was kind of tough, Donald.
It was easy. I'm shocked at Donald's answer, actually, to be honest.
No, I don't mind that. I mean, I probably wouldn't trade for Justin Fields. Whatever. That's why they live in purgatory their whole life. I mean, that's the Vikings. That's why they cut me, because they're stupid. The team that I go, I'm gonna own the Dallas Cowboys. All right, I'm about the money, and we're gonna get Jerry Jones' old ass up out of there. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold everybody accountable. The first move I'm gonna make, I'm gonna trade Dak Prescott. He has to go. I need a quarterback that's not going to wear a stupid hat to the game and put pressure on himself that we're going to get it done and fool me. You're not going to fool me because you fooled me once. Shame on me. You fooled me twice. You can't fool me again. And he won't fool me again. Yeah. Somebody said that. I'm pretty sure it was George W., one of them Bushes, the latest one. and he won't fool me again. And I will get him out of there, and I will wrap him up in a deal because the team is gonna get him, and they're gonna buy what I'm selling them. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna give you Dak Prescott. I'm gonna give you a first round draft pick. Give me Herbert, Justin Herbert, and I think he could lead my Dallas Cowboys to championship. I'm done with Dak. I'm giving him up, but I think the next quarterback who I think would thrive would be Justin Herbert. Once I get him under my tutelage of me being the owner and GM, I'm gonna turn him into a winner because I can't do it with Dak. It's been a long time coming, a long time gone, and he has to get gone before he got to get gone, get gone. He's out of here. So the Cowboys, because I want to make the moolah. They make the money. All these dumb Cowboy fans, they think we're gonna win every year. They buy into us. They spend money on us. They buy jerseys. They think we're gonna win every year. They don't care. So I'm praying to that. I'm gonna keep taking their money, but I'm also gonna try to win and do things for the organization. So one day I'm gonna get them a championship, and then they could actually feel good about themselves instead of lying to themselves every year that we're back like you.
I'm actually surprised that Donald said the Vikings. I really thought he would take the Yankees because we're both diehard Yankees fans. And of course, that's an easy answer for me. I would want to be the owner of the New York Yankees, the greatest professional sports franchise in American history that has more championships than anybody else ever. 27 rings. We're still waiting for 28, but we won't fire Aaron Boone. So, yeah, my first move would be to fire Aaron Boone. I'd be the manager of the owner of the Yankees, and I'd fire Aaron Boone immediately as far as my first move, because watching him manage teams into the ground just makes me puke as a Yankees fan. It disgusts me watching this guy manage. I cannot stand management by analytics. It doesn't work in baseball. They keep shoving it down our throats. Analytics is bullshit in baseball. You know what wins in baseball? Good pitching and high batting average, period. You can put together all these numbers that say, oh, you can put all the numbers together and say, oh, you hit home runs. Bro, we haven't won because we cannot hit for average. We strike out. Our best players strike out 150, 200 times. I love Aaron Judge. I have a number of moves I would make. But one of the moves would have been that I would have there's no way in hell that I would have lost the bidding war for Yamamoto. There's no way. But that's done. That's neither here nor there. My first move after would be I'm guaranteeing that I'm going to sign Blake Snell and I'm going to sign Jordan Montgomery. I got Marcus Stroman. Those are my first two moves after I fire Aaron Boone, because the Yankees need pitching. And then I'm going to see who wants to take DJ LeMahieu and Giancarlo Stanton off my hands, because these guys are old and dirt. Stanton, with his strikeout, he's always hurt. He strikes out tons of times. He can't play the field. DJ LeMahieu went from being really, really amazing and just remember what Max Kellerman used to say about Tom Brady, the cliff. DJ LeMahieu fell off the cliff worse than any baseball player I've ever seen. He went from hitting 360 to 260 in his season. It's awful. He cannot hit anymore. He's late on the ball. Yet they want to stuff him at the leadoff position.
Is that a worse cliff than Stanton?
What?
Is that a worse cliff than Stanton?
No, because Stanton can still hit home runs if he actually stays healthy enough to do it. But I don't want either of those guys.
He hits like 130.
No, he didn't hit 130. He didn't hit 130.
180, 200.
But
okay.
you know what? But DJ LeMahieu was a contact hitter who can't make contact anymore, and that's the problem. So yeah, I'd have a few moves, but the first move I'd make would be fire Aaron Boone. I'm signing Blake Snell and I'm signing Jordan Montgomery, and because everything else can't be done right now. Everything else is hypothetical. This actually can happen.
I got
by the way, you notice my light? I'm angelic. So I'm angelic. This is God's way of telling you guys that I'm angelic.
Hey, I got your coach. You get Dusty Baker.
Oh, he's retired. He's done. He won. He's done. Yeah, I like Dusty Baker, but he's retired.
One season.
I tell you right now. You know. I'm not going to say it, but
remember Remember
I'd make myself the manager, like in that movie Little Big League years ago. The little kid who was 12 years old who managed the team. But I mean, I would hire Theo Epps. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd fire Brian Cashman too. Sorry, I forgot that.
But you remember when Dusty Baker was in the movie Angel in the Outfield?
Yes. I would fire Brian Cashman. Also, I'd hire Theo Epstein to be my president and GM, and then I'd hire Joe Madden to be my manager.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. But Dusty Baker was an Angel in the Outfield.
He was.
I love your Hollywood knowledge.
All right, it might have not been Dusty Baker.
I don't know. I'm just saying yes because you sound really convinced.
It might have been Danny Glover.
Oh God Almighty! That's a big.
We're not gonna go down that road. Wow. Way to mix and match.
I just believed you because I don't remember the movie for shit. But I mean, I just remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember for shit. We both believed you because you were good at lying to both of us clearly. Because did you even see the movie, Nick?
Yeah, of course I did. That was a childhood iconic movie.
And yet you confused a famous actor with a baseball manager.
We're on the national airways basically saying that we agree that all older black people look alike.
I was gonna say it, but I was not gonna say it.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
I can't say it. You can say it.
We're gonna get off Don's dimes and go right into one of our last parts of the show. Guys, why did Nick Saban really retire?
This is gonna be quick. Nil deals. Everything has changed. The way that he won before is not the same way he's going to win today. These kids want to get paid, and everybody has the opportunity to go to every different college. And when you have that opportunity to go to different colleges, he's not getting all the 5 stars that he was getting before. Because you know what? I'm a 5-star. I can go here and I can go there. I don't have to go to Alabama because everything is out there now. Before, we knew why everybody was going to Alabama. Don't tell me because they weren't paying people. They were paying people, and it was under the table, and that's just what it was. But now it's out there that everybody could pay people legally, and that changed the game. And when that changed the game, though he's getting older, that changed the game. The playing field has leveled out. You know, when the playing field levels out, you have to coach. You have to be a great coach. You have to show that you're a great coach. Because before, he didn't have to show that he was a great coach. All he had to do is get the best talent, and his talent will override him being a great coach. Even though he could possibly still be a great coach, that could change the game because everybody else has great players. And when everybody else has great players, guess what you have to do? You have to work on your X's and O's. You have to figure things out. You have to put in a quarterback who could actually play. Well, they didn't even have a quarterback that could always play. You know why? Because they had amazing receivers. They had what Rudy said, great pocket presence, and I didn't get no pressure because I had a 5-star left tackle, a 5-star right tackle, a 5-star guard, an 8-star center, and a 9-star right guard. But now everybody's even. And when everybody's even, you have to show who you really are. And I'm not going to say that he was scared of that challenge. He could just be getting older. But it's something that he did run away from. And he did show that he can, still win in this era. But you can also see that they lost a couple games this year. And it's starting to go downhill. You can see it. You can see the plateau isn't plateauing anymore like it used to. And it's starting to change. And he's getting up out the door before people realize what they realize of the realization. I said
you just said he realized the realization. Oh my God!
No, I said
Rudy, let's leave that alone. Rudy, let's leave that alone.
You didn't get what I said. You didn't catch it. You're not picking up what I'm putting down, so I'm gonna leave it right there.
I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying he wasn't that good of a coach. The fact of the matter is, I agree. NIL deals is what ran him off, and I do think he got scared. He didn't want to deal with the headaches of having to buy these players off and finding collectives to pay them off because they were already paying them off at Alabama. They've been paying them for over 15 years. People don't recognize or realize, but Alabama's going to fall off a cliff right now. I don't give a shit about NIL. They're going to fall off the cliff. The cliff being that they were 12-0 almost every damn year, 11-1, 13-1, whatever else. They're going to go back to being an 8-win team. because Nick Saban is an institution. Nick Saban scared the shit out of other coaches. Nick Saban scared officials. He scared everybody when he was on that field. He was intimidating. Even at 5'6", 5'7", he intimidated people. And they're not going to have that. And Caleb DeBoer, I think he's out of his mind for taking that job. He would have been in heaven at Washington in the Big Ten. He wanted to take the challenge. Well, in 5 years, he'll be out of a job. Because when they don't win a championship in the next 5 years, or probably even make an SEC championship game, because Auburn is coming in Alabama now. Auburn is coming. Alabama was Nick Saban. Nick Saban was getting players. He got players out of here in South Florida that, I mean, come on, man. There's no kid from Dade County and Broward County that wants to live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Hey, Rudy.
Unless there's a big bag of freaking money that nobody else was cutting back then. Or because you also need to have people cover it up. Because they've been giving out money at Miami and he can't cover it up. They couldn't cover it up with Luke. They couldn't cover it up with Nevin Shapiro. It always comes out because there's always a media person with the Miami Herald and Sun Sentinel who wants to break a story and become famous and destroy the program. You go to Tallahassee, Gainesville, Tuscaloosa, Athens. These reporters are all on the take for these schools. It's their life. If they screw these programs, then they have nothing to cover. What?
I'm not going to Alabama if you fucking pay me. Well, not your goddamn mind.
They were paying them.
I know. I get what you're saying. That's how you know. That's how you know they were paying them a lot of money.
Of course.
There ain't no way that me as a African American black kid out of Miami or any one of these other cities is going to Alabama. You know what there is to do in Alabama?
Nothing.
You know what there is to do, Donald? You know, Rudy. You know.
Nothing.
It's fucking nothing. There's
nothing.
Literally nothing.
I was going to say something. I was going to say something really crazy, but it wouldn't be good. Running away from police. Nothing. I don't know.
You have
because the cops are probably racist as shit there too. Huh?
There's nothing to do there.
I just know that I think NIL. He flat out said that NIL was taken over. And he said it recently. So you knew he was going to retire. You could see it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, like, you could see it. And you know what? He's also 72 years old. So why the hell keep going through this bullshit of trying to convince these little spoiled brat kids to come to my school, pay him $2 million to come play football, give him more power than I got now because he likes power. He was losing power. And I mentioned the Tua thing. There was a game that I watched years ago. I remember because I posted it on Facebook where Tua had 6 yards between him and the line because that line was a wall. Those offensive lines were so damn good that it was because every kid, as you said, 5-star across the board. So it's hard to lose when you're that damn talented everywhere.
You're 72. You got a wife at home. You got
enjoy your grandkids.
Viagra that you can get. Go ahead and make your wife happy before it's over. Because sooner or later, it don't do what it needed to. If you get me.
Oh my gosh!
Just get a pump. Just get a pump.
Yeah,
I think we're going off topic. Topic. Listen, sidebar. Let me throw something else in.
You've been coaching, and when you coach, you don't go home. So go home.
Jesus. No, you don't. You're working like 18 hours, 20 hours a day. Someone like him.
Let's hope.
Make Mrs. Saban happy.
Nick, we're not going to do that. They're not a paid advertiser, so we're not going to shout out the company that you shouted out. So let's hope that his personal life gets a spark. With that being said, listen, breaking news came in today. Pascal Siakam to the Pacers. What do you guys think?
So we're going to quick take.
I think that's a great deal. They didn't give up much to get him. They got to give up Bruce Brown and some picks. They're trying to win now. Now, obviously, Tyrese Halliburton has to get healthy because he's out probably for 4 weeks. I'm guessing with a pulled hamstring. So that's going to be a tough thing for them to deal with. He's going to be out for at least a few weeks. So how quickly he gets back. But it definitely helps them right now with him being out to get a guy like that. It's a big deal for them. I think that's a huge deal, actually. Now, and he's also a better defensive player than anyone on that team. because they can't guard a parked car on that team. Although they gave it Bruce Brown, who's supposed to be a good defensive player, but they got rid of him. So but yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, for what they do, it's an amazing deal because they don't fucking stop anybody anyway. So you might as well keep scoring. And Pascal can score, but he's also versatile. He's a 6'10" player who can guard wings. He can guard bigs. He could guard guards on pick and rolls. They don't guard anyway, so I guess that means nothing. But he's a person that Halliburton could find in transition and get layups and easy buckets to. That just made them, I'm not going to say, I'm scared to put them as a contender yet, but they are right above water. Them and Florida Evans are keeping their head above water.
I'll tell you what, the best thing that could happen to Indiana is if they're like the 7 seed.
Listen, I love your
You didn't catch that,
segment.
Donald. You didn't catch what Rudy said.
Yeah, I think the best thing that could happen to Indiana is that either the 7
He wants
seed.
them to play Milwaukee.
If they play Milwaukee, Milwaukee's gonna be shitting on themselves.
That is they have.
It will
number.
be a fun series.
They have Milwaukee.
I think when it gets down to the nitty gritty, I don't think Giannis is.
Milwaukee should win, but I think that would be one hell of a series if it's anything remotely close to what we've been seeing this year with them.
Oh my God! Remember that year when the Pacers took the Cavs to 7 games?
Before he was a singer. Before he was a singer.
Oh my God! That was such an amazing series.
He played basketball and he could play it at a high level. He had this one move where he'll run at you full speed. He'll stop on a dime and pop a 3. And he had everybody on their back of their heels. He had LeBron on the back of his heels. He had everybody on Cleveland on the back of their heels. And it was a scary sight to see. And that's why everybody thought that Victor Oladipo was going to be the next best thing. Because, D Wade was going down. They were like, he is D Wade with a better jump shot.
And he could also fly. He could jump off the gym.
It's a shame what his career has came down to because Victor was on the up and up. He was, oh man,
yeah.
He could slither through the lane and finish with the best of them, man. I feel sorry for his career. I mean, when we got him in Miami, we thought we were getting a gem. We didn't know that they were selling him to what they call that thing when you go to a lot and it's a bad car.
They sold you They sold you a car, a lemon.
We got sold a lemon.
They sold a reconstructed title from that got caught in a hurricane and was destroyed.
We didn't check our Carfax at all.
No, we did not.
They got us.
No,
okay. We're hot firing, shooting from the hip. Dwyane Wade just been announced that he's getting a statue in front of. I don't even know the arena's name now because they changed it so much. Whatever that means. Yeah, it's gonna always be.
They should have called it the Bang Bros Center, which would have been the BBC.
Oh my gosh! Oh my lord! Oh my god! That could mean a lot of different things, but we're not gonna discuss.
They could have got saved with the Viagra, and they could have.
Okay, we're going down.
I think D Wade. I mean, it's well deserved. It's well deserved. It was a matter of
our lifelong Heat fans. What do you guys think?
It was absolutely deserved. It was a matter of when. I mean, this is now D Wade's 4th retirement ceremony they've given this guy. I mean, God, they might as well just paint the building with him, like cover the whole building in Dwyane Wade poster. Because he deserves it. I was really sad and I hated him for a year when he bailed on us, but that was also partly Pat Riley's fault. And then he went to Cleveland, which made me nauseous. Like that was even worse than Chicago. Like, what are you doing? But Dwyane Wade deserves it. I mean, he's the greatest Miami Heat player ever. It's not close. There's not a close second. Absolutely deserves it. No question. I just hope he sells his piece of the Utah Jazz and finally buys a piece of the Miami Heat that was offered to him.
They allow him to.
Well, yeah, but he was offered the Heat before he even retired, and he turned it down because I guess they gave him a better deal with Utah. But I can't blame him. I
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He was offered. He was offered a 1%, and I think he bought 2% of the Jazz. But because who the hell wants to freaking go to Utah? Like, are you kidding? Like, come back home, bro.
I'm gonna agree with Rudy, man.
I mean,
D Wade was the 3rd best shooting guard of all time, and barring his knee not working with him, I'm going to go out on a limb. Fuck the limb. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. D Wade would have been right up there with Kobe. Right up there with Kobe. He was, if you've seen him at his best, Wade was dynamic. He was gliding through the NBA. Nobody could stop him. The year he should have won an MVP, he got robbed. LeBron should have never got it. D Wade carried the Miami Heat. Even though our record was bad, he carried it. Nobody could guard him that year. He came off a pick and roll. He was one of the best players off a pick and roll because he slithered to the basket, and then he had an amazing mid-range jump shot, and he kissed it off the glass like Tim Duncan. He was one of the best players I've ever seen with the ball in his hand, and then he did it on defensive end. He blocked shots. He got in the passing lane. He was an amazing player. One of the most epic matchups was when he played against Kobe. That was old school basketball, mano a mano, and they both went against each other hard as hell, and it was one of the best things you ever could see and witness. Even though Wade gave it to Kobe. Don't get confused by the clip where you see when Kobe is pressing D Wade full court. Wade gave it to Kobe, and he was one of the toughest matchups in the league. And he was an amazing player, and everything he gets, he deserves. I'm all for Wade, man. I mean, I was one of my favorite players growing up. I mean, now I'm a Steph Curry fan because Wade is not playing, but Wade was amazing. You just had to watch him with your own two eyes and see the amazingness he did every night. He was flipping balls backwards and making them. He was shooting half-court shots for wins. He was making – man, he was blocking big man shot. Like, if you watch this guy, yo, and if his knees didn't fail him, man, I think we would have had him up there instead of just third. We'd be like, okay, there's a conversation to be had. Even though, I mean, Kobe is amazing, don't get me wrong, but it would have been a conversation to be had. That's just
If his knees had not failed him, LeBron would have never left.
Oh, no doubt. Unless Savannah made him.
That's partial, but I don't think he ever leaves if Dwyane Wade's knees are good. Because if Dwyane Wade's knees are good, he's
listen, Rudy,
he's still better than Kyrie Irving.
I know where Nick's going with this. We're not going to go down.
I know. I do too.
So with that being said,
you lived in Miami.
I got a couple more things I want to talk about if we can do it.
We have to get off the air. We have to save it.
We have to get off the airwaves. We're already crossing the 60-minute threshold, but I have a quick story.
We're supposed to go 90 today, man.
No, listen. Let's get it going. I have a quick story. 2006 will always be a great year for me because that was senior year. Knicks basketball team won state championship for Miami Norland. That was a really great thing, and the Miami Heat won the championship. So I remember Knicks team winning, and literally right after the Heat.
I was there. I went to that game. I was at that game, covering it.
That was really fun to be in Miami and South Florida at that time, especially being at the school. And at that point, Nick and I had become pretty close, and it was like, oh wow, seeing my good friend succeed on a high level. And even though I was a Bulls fan, Bulls were terrible in 2006. So I was rooting for Dwyane Wade, the Flash, and he did it in his third year. And I remember Shaq coming out with Kobe, how does my ass taste? I thought that was hilarious. And yeah, it was a cool time to be in South Florida, 2006. So guys, I'm gonna give you the floor for your final remarks before we get out of here, and the people can go back to their lives.
Go for it, Nick.
On me, huh? It's on me, huh?
Go for it.
I'm really excited for this week of football, man. I'm just gonna give y'all my picks because last week I told you there was an upset alert coming around. I said Green Bay because of the matchup. I know a little bit of football. I play football. I play basketball also, so I know a little bit of everything. So this week, guys, mark it down on your calendars. Mark it down on your sports betting apps. But don't come to me if I'm wrong. I'm just giving you my advice. So we have Baltimore, Houston. Baltimore for the win. We have Bills, Chiefs. Bills win. They go over the hump. They're going to lose next week, but I'm going to save that for next week. We have San Francisco, Green Bay. San Francisco. And then we have the last one. We have, oh Lord have mercy, we have the Bucks versus Detroit. Baker is not going to make this week. We're going to go with Detroit, and we're going to set ourselves up for a great week of football the following week. But roll with Nick on Nick Picks. If you win a little money this week, my cash app is $.
You know, Cash App can get hacked, so I wouldn't do that.
$, shake my ass for cash. Taylor.
So you went on a limb and you picked 4 favorites. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
Week.
Well, I think you're gonna have. I think that Packers game could actually be kind of interesting. The way Jordan Love played against Dallas, I mean, that kid was impressive.
He was, but
the throws he made, I mean, his patience and poise, where he was letting plays, like he wasn't rattled like Tua and panicked like Tua and making dime dart throws that Tua could never make. I'd make that trade right now. Send me freaking Jordan Love, and I give you Tua, and I'll give you a multiple picks for him. But I think that could be a really good game. I did pick the Ravens and the Niners.
Oh, and we dove into. Oh man, we missed the topic today, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did pick Ravens and 49ers in the Super Bowl, but I tell you right now, Texans could give the Baltimore Ravens some headaches. If they can jump out early, jumping out early is the key. If they fall behind, the game's over. If they fall behind 7-0, game is over. If they can jump out early and Stroud gets some confidence up there, because he's a stud. Holy Lord. But the real stuff I want to talk about real quick is the Dallas Cowboys before we go. By the way, UFC 297, Sean Strickland and Dricus Duplessis on Saturday for UFC guys. I love you, MMA. Hopefully we can talk about this next week because that's going to be one hell of a fight. Looking forward to it. But let me tell you something. The Dallas Cowboys will not get fixed, not until Nick owns them, but until Jerry Jones fires himself. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. It doesn't matter who is coaching. If Jerry Jones is the most egotistical motherfucker on the face of the earth, bluntly, he's the how in the world can you coach a team and have the owner be interviewed for 45 minutes after every single game as if he's more important than the quarterback and the coach? The man is a shit GM. He's honestly a shitty owner, to be honest, at this point, because he creates the problem that exists in Dallas. Back the fuck up. Get out of the way. Sit in your box, close your fucking pie hole, and let your team play. Get a real GM who can make decisions. Mike McCarthy, I don't think he's that bad of a coach. But it doesn't matter who coaches. That's why I think Bill Belichick going there would have been a disaster.
God, that was the dumbest thing I ever
disaster.
heard.
Like, who in the world? Like, Bill Belichick can't operate with a dickhead like freaking Jerry Jones. Like, it just doesn't work. His ego, he wants too much spotlight. You're the owner. Get your ass in the back and own the team and pay the bills. Because you don't know dick about football when you talk. I don't care if you played 75 years ago in college. You don't know dick, and it sounds like it, and you make stupid-ass comments, and you sit here, you say, that's the worst loss, da-da-da-da-da, basically telling people you're going to fire McCarthy, and then you don't fire McCarthy. So now you have a coach who's, now we're questioning all year again. Is he lame duck? Dak, I agree with you. Dak should be traded. If they don't go anywhere, Dak should be traded because enough of Dak already. But Jerry Jones needs to shut his damn mouth and hire a GM and just stop getting interviewed. He is the problem in Dallas. He always has been, and it won't stop until he gets the hell out. Philadelphia, did they shit on themselves? Because we got this on as well. No, they did not. They showed you who they were. In their 10-1 start, they won 8 games by a score or less. They should have lost multiple games in that. They got lucky. The reality is Baker Mayfield looked like a superstar because the Philadelphia Eagles are ready to go home to Puerto Rico, to Cancun, to Hawaii. They were done. Done. Their defense was terrible for the last 6 weeks from the moment Nick Sirianni demoted his defensive coordinator. They quit.
They weren't better before that anyway. So, they quit. So yeah, that's all I got. I don't think. Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts had a great year a year ago. He couldn't run as well this year, and you see the difference.
And A.J. Brown's bitching and moaning and all that stuff. But that's all I got. All you Pittsburgh fans, be sure to comment. I want to get your response. I want to see if any of you have seen the light from the information I provided to you. And if you haven't, I don't give a shit. Because I know you're still going to click. I know you're still going to cuss me out. And I'm still going to hashtag all you Steelers and Steeler Nation, Pittsburgh. I'm going to hashtag New England. Give me them clips, Donald. I'm going to stick them all up to them. They can all scream at me. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Heat fan. I'm a Canes fan, even though we lost to Florida State tonight, which is embarrassing. I'm a Dolphins fan, even though we shit the damn bed. I'm a Panthers fan. And I'm a Yankees fan. God damn it. Let's go. Come on now.
Shout out to Brian Matata for letting for letting Aaron Rodgers go. They finally made the right decision after years and years of letting him play them and saying, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna retire." You're holding up our organization. We don't know the next move we're gonna make. You've been holding us back. I hate divas like that, man. Is that the team or you not? And you're not going to be here. You're mad at receivers last year because, they're not on the same page. Because you didn't show up to OTAs and all this stuff that helps these receivers know your accord and what you do and your timing on routes and when you throw the ball. Now you get into the middle of the season, you're like, we're finally trying to find. No, mother lover, if you get here on time, because you know you have young receivers, because if you really wanted to be here, you would be here and you would help them. But no, you don't want to. You're in, I got a problem with this GM, and oh my God, nobody called me, nobody loves me, nobody cares.
Sound like Kevin Hart right there. That was like Kevin Hart right there.
Out here, man. This is a team sport, man, and nobody is above anybody. You get paid the most, but you're not above anybody because if the center don't block for you, you're getting your ass smacked in the face every play. And if the receivers don't catch the ball, you look stupid. And if the running back don't run the ball, you have no play action game. Everything works together in this league. If the coach don't call the right call, if you don't get your ass here on time to work with these players, you're going to look trash. They should have been gave Love the opportunity. They should have been unleashed him. They should have been got rid of Aaron Rodgers and moved on and been happy with their life. Everybody's around the organization. I bet they're walking around happy as hell today because you know what? Aaron Rodgers is not there holding them back. I'm sorry.
But they needed to do that. They needed to do that. They needed to hold Jordan Love because Jordan Love.
That's crazy. Same thing that Favre did, and Favre should have been let go a while ago. And
but you know what?
You know what? He did the same thing to the organization and held them hostage, and he put them in a messed up situation. And I'm glad that they finally got to their freaking senses and said, Aaron Rodgers, you could go over there and smoke your little cheap chong and do what you want to do and get up out of here. And we're gonna find our quarterback. We have him here, and like a lot of teams should do when your quarterback get old. That's why Pittsburgh is in the problem that they're in. You know why they're in the problem they're in? Because they didn't draft the quarterback when they needed to, when he was getting older, and he could groom and have him ready for when he retired. Because retirement is always coming for every player in this damn league.
Because they didn't dump old ass Ben Rodgers at year 15 after his big season. I know. Yeah, you just told me about that top 5 thing, you right?
Should have drafted somebody and got them ready for this time when it's over. And now you're stuck here with quarterbacks who quarterback or might not.
Pittsburgh fans are getting shots on the way out. Pittsburgh fans are getting shot on the way out.
And you know what? Green Bay still showed what they did it was right because they've gotten another beast of a quarterback now. Who's learning.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
With that being said, guys,
I meant for that topic to be on.
No, we love it. We love it. I think
the
listeners love it. We love
I love it.
So that being said, we're wrapping up episode 3. Nick,
that's why you love Jimmy Butler.
That's
why you love Jimmy Butler.
Because
Jimmy Butler's a dog. Yeah.
Save some for next week. You got that pit bull in you. Well, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 3 of Come On Now. We had a ton of fun filming this. I hope you guys have as much fun listening and watching us. Tune in next week, and please pay attention to all of our handles. Rudy, give them the handles.
Go follow us at IG. Come On Now podcast. You'll get us on Spotify. You have the address for Spotify, but Come On Now podcast on IG, and we will have clips. Don will be providing them to us that will be getting up there, so you can come scream at me online. I can't wait. Let's go, baby.
Well,
let's go.
Yesterday, because we'll post it on Friday.
Yes, guys. All right.
Friday.
Tune in.
All right, y'all. Boy.
That being said, we are gone. We're
All right.
gone for real now. Have a good one.